Hello all. Our topic for today's discussion is email writing. Email writing is one of the essential parts of the English paper for most of the boards. However, the format that we will discuss today adheres strictly to the ICSE curriculum. I would also advise you to remain updated with the current format of email writing as much as possible. Gone are the days of writing letters or applications on paper. These days, we prefer digital communication, which is not only quick but also ensures effective delivery of the message. Through emails, we can send information in details to one or multiple receivers. We can also attach documents, files, pictures, and so much more to the email. The format of email writing followed by ICSE curriculum is based on the practical format of email used by us on a day-to-day basis. It has 8 parts. The first part or the first line is the receiver's email ID. Depending on the question, you may have to write one or more than one email IDs. The second part is the subject. The third part is the salutation. The fourth, fifth, and sixth parts taken together make the body of the email. However, the opening sentence and the closing sentence carry separate marks. The seventh part is the subscription, and the last part is the signature of the sender. Remember that the notice and email are interconnected according to the ICSE format of question. As we begin the discussion of email writing, we start with the receiver's email ID. This can be divided into 2 parts, post and person, depending on the question. If the question asks you to write an email to the principal of a neighboring school, in all likelihood you will not know his or her name. This is where you mention the post in the email ID, as you can see in the first box on the screen. If, however, the question asks you to write an email to a famous personality, you will have to write the name of the person along with the email ID format. In this second case, you may write the name of a famous personality related to the topic, or you may simply make an imaginary email ID, as you can see in the second example in the first box. If you are required to write more than one email IDs, you need to use a comma to separate them. As of now, the use of CC or BCC is not encouraged. The email ID must be realistic and believable. It must be written neatly without using block letters, space, or random combinations like ABC or XYZ. The next part of the email is the subject. This can be broken down into 2 parts for your easy comprehension. You need to use a verb along with the name of the event as mentioned in the notice topic, which comes as a part of the email according to the ICSE format. So, if you have been asked to invite the principal of a neighboring school to inaugurate your annual school book fair, you may write the subject of your email as to inaugurate the annual school book fair. Next, as we come to the salutation, it is the same as that of a formal letter. You will use Dear Sir or Dear Madam in case you know the gender of the recipient. If you do not, however, know the gender, you will write Dear Sir/Madam. The punctuation after this is a comma which must not be ignored. Also, using an abbreviation like ma'am in place of madam is not accepted here. The email needs to be divided into 3 distinct paragraphs. The first paragraph is also called the opening sentence. This is the introductory line where you introduce yourself as well as the topic to the recipient of your email. For your convenience, I have given a sample opening sentence on the screen. The next paragraph is the main part of the body of the email. Here, you mention the details of the event which you have already mentioned in the subject as well as the opening sentence. Remember that you have to refer to the notice which will be a part of this question for the details of the event. The basic details consist of the date, time and venue of the event. Along with these, you can also mention the kind of participants in the event or the purpose or theme of the event. All these depend on your writing skills and ability to incorporate relevant information. The third paragraph is the closing sentence. This is a conclusion to your email. Limit this part to a single sentence and do not stretch it unnecessarily. It must be written as a separate paragraph. You can see a sample of the closing sentence on the screen. The subscription of an email is similar to that of a formal letter. There are 3 parts of it and in 3 lines: thanking you, yours faithfully, and the full name of the sender. Remember to write your full name with surname and write it neatly but not in block letters. The punctuation here is very important as well. One more thing you need to remember while writing the email is that your tone and manner must be polite and formal. You cannot use informal tone or colloquial terms in the email. Keeping all these in mind, I hope you have understood the details of how to write an email and remember to stay updated with the format followed by the ICSE curriculum. Happy learning!